Okay, let us continue. So indirectly, even though we are taking a single-ended output, but we are trying to maintain the overall current, that is 2I. 2I in the sense I plus I, that is both the currents that is flowing through Q1 and that is flowing through Q2, both the currents are considered for determining the output voltage as well as the gain of the circuit. Unlike the conventional single-ended configuration, okay, this is conventional single-ended differential amplifier, we are only dealing with the drain current of Q2 to determine the output voltage as well as the gain, right? So in that case, the gain is reduced to half. Okay, it is reduced to half in the normal scale, and in the dB scale, it is getting reduced by a factor of 6 dB. So that is not happening over here, because by using a current mirror circuit which is connected over Q1 and Q2, and because of that matching phenomenon, that is Q3 and Q4 both are perfectly matched devices, and because of that I am getting 2 times of I. Okay, 2I as a current towards the output node, and thereby I will be able to maintain the same output voltage whatever I'm getting in the differential or double-ended mode. Understood, students? So here, even though I'm taking the output in a single-ended mode, by giving a differential input and by connecting a mirror circuit over the differential pair Q1, Q2, I'm able to maintain a current 2I instead of I. So that is more than sufficient to maintain the desirable gain across the output terminal. Is that clear? Okay. So what is I? What is I? I is nothing but GM into VGS. Isn't it? The drain current I is expressed as the small signal current can be expressed as GM into VGS. Are you remembering or not? From second module itself, we were using this equation I is equal to GM VGS. But what about VGS of this circuit? It is VID by 2, right? So the current that is flowing through Q1 and Q2 will be same in magnitude because your input voltage is same. Your input voltage is VID by 2 in magnitude. Only polarity is different. Since the polarity is opposite, I will be representing the same current I over Q2 also, but in the opposite direction. That is what is a concept. Okay, so the equation for I can be considered as GM into VID by 2. So this GM into VID by 2 is fed to Q3, and Q3 will mirror the circuit, mirror the current towards Q4. As a result, I'm getting a current I coming from the drain of Q4 to the output node. At the same time, I'm also getting a current I from the drain of Q2 coming towards V0. Therefore, a total current 2I will be flowing through the output load resistance. And by making use of this current 2I, we will be able to compute the output voltage gain. How you will compute the gain? How you will compute the output voltage first? 2I is the current. So how will you find the output voltage? By multiplying this current with the load resistance, whatever I am connecting at the output node. Suppose I am making use of a loudspeaker as output load, right? And it will be having its own resistance. So that resistance, load resistance, we need to multiply it with the 2I so that I will get the output voltage. In the absence of the load resistance, what I will do is to compute the output voltage, I will multiply this 2I with the internal output resistance of the circuitry. Always I am expecting a finite resistance across output, right? Across the drain source terminals. So this is the internal output resistance which I should consider to multiply with 2I so that I can find the output voltage. Otherwise, if at all there is a load resistance explicitly mentioned across the output terminal, means I need to take that load resistance and multiply with the 2I and I will get the output voltage. Any doubts regarding this working? Okay, so till now, what and all we have learned is, we have learned how to convert a single-ended, double-ended to single-ended output, right? Within a conventional differential amplifier. And what is its main drawback? The main drawback is it is facing a gain reduction of 6 dB, or the gain has been decreased by a factor of 2. So that is to be addressed. So to remove this problem, we are using an active load MOS differential pair, Okay, and in that case also I'm maintaining a single input, single ended output. In spite of using a single ended output, I will be able to maintain appreciable current at the output terminal, and the voltage can be maintained at a desirable value. And the working of this MOS differential pair with an active load, we are discussing in different cases. So for first cases, the quiescent case, that is the common mode equilibrium case, where I have grounded the two gate voltages, and I concluded that the overall current towards the output node is zero because it is working in a common mode equilibrium. Even though the output current is zero, still we are expecting a voltage output which is equal to VDD minus VSG3. Second case, we are giving a differential input which is equal to VID by 2, positive VID by 2 towards the gate and minus VID by 2 towards the gate of Q2, thereby maintaining a differential input VID, because of which we will get an equal current flow towards Q1 and Q2 in opposite direction. And apart from that, due to the mirroring action, Q4 is also steering some amount of current towards the output node in the opposite direction. And after applying KCL, I got the overall current 2I that is flowing towards the output resistance will be 2I. So this 2I we need to multiply with the output resistance to compute the output voltage. If there is no output resistance available, then if there is no load resistance available, to simply calculate the output voltage, you need to multiply 2I with the corresponding internal output resistance. So this I'll do only in the absence of the load. Any doubts regarding the concept of an active load at MOS differential pair, students? Is it clear, Sujit?
Yes, sir.
Now coming to the last analysis. So to assess the performance parameters of this MOS differential pair, we are going for some small signal analysis. And from this analysis, we are going to derive these 5 parameters. So we need to study the derivation for all these 5 parameters. And parallelly, you need to remember the equation, the result, and we need to apply for the numerical. So what are the parameters that we are going to analyze for this active loaded MOS differential pair? One is the transconductance, that is short circuit transconductance. Short circuit transconductance means without connecting any load resistance across the output terminal, what will be the overall transconductance of the entire circuitry, which is represented by capital GM. Second parameter to be assessed is the output resistance R out. Third parameter, the differential gain. Fourth one, the common mode gain. And fifth one, CMRR. For an ideal differential amplifier, we are expecting an infinite CMRR. So let us check after this active loaded configuration, that is after loading this typical differential amplifier with the active load mirror circuit, what will be the change in AD and ACM? Accordingly, what is the effect on CMRR? The previous classes and all we have discussed, if there is no mismatch in the devices in terms of RD and GM, ideally we will be getting an infinite CMRR because of zero common mode gain. So let us check here what will happen for the CMRR when we are loading the circuit with a active load or mirror. And you know what is the advantage of using mirror circuit? What is the advantage of using mirror circuit? We will be getting more gain, what we desired. Okay, whatever we are getting in the double-ended case, no, the same gain we are going to maintain in the single-ended also. Unlike in the conventional differential pair. The conventional differential pair without any active load means what will happen? The gain will be half of the original value. That is the main drawback of the conventional differential amplifier. So we have added one more circuitry, that is current mirror. So due to this mirroring action, I will be maintaining the total current 2I through the output node, because of which both the current that is from Q1 and Q2 is contributing towards the output voltage. Thereby I can enhance the gain. That is what is the requirement of the active load in the MOS differential pair. And let us check what will happen for this CMRR after incorporating this this particular active load over the conventional MOS differential pair. Clear? First, let us check the short circuit transconductance GM. So before going to the small signal circuit, let us define what is a short circuit transconductance. It is defined as the ratio between the output current and VID. Write the equation. It is defined as the ratio between the output current and the differential input. What is the differential input, students? It is the difference between positive VID by 2 and negative VID by 2. What is positive VID by 2? The input that we are giving to Q1's gate. Negative VID by 2 is the input that you are giving to Q2's gate. The difference between these two voltages is VID, right? So the ratio between the output current and the differential input is considered as the overall transconductance GM. And as the name indicates, this is a short circuit transconductance, which means I need to short circuit my output. That is, we are not going to connect any load resistance across the output. So the output terminal need to be grounded directly. Okay, so short circuited the output towards the ground without connecting the load resistance. So GM is equal to I0 by VID. So if you have written this, now you can draw the circuit diagram which is used to determine the ratio I0 to VID. That is nothing but your GM. Yes, please, I'll give you 2 minutes. You can start drawing. This is the circuit diagram which we have used for determining the transconductance. Completed. So it is a simple circuit, okay? Don't confuse it. Whatever we have drawn in the previous analysis, from the same circuit I have used here also. The same circuit, the only difference is I have shown the effect of output resistances of each transistor. So after connecting this Q1, Q2 pair, this is NMOS. Q3, Q4 should be PMOS, and I need to connect the gate terminals and source terminals together. The source terminal should be connected to the ground because this is small signal analysis. So we need to replace the constant voltage source and current source with ground. Okay, so here I will connect ground. And here, normally in the original circuit, we used to have the current source, capital I, and minus VSS. So these two terminals we need to deactivate. That also we need to do. And also the respective drain terminals of Q4 and Q2, we should ground. Okay, the drain terminals of Q4 and Q2, we should ground. Why? Because normally this is your output node, right? And normally we used to connect the load resistance here. But since we are determining the short circuit transconductance, I will not use any load at the output terminal. So directly the output terminal to be connected towards the ground. And since the operation is in differential mode, I will give a positive VID by 2 to the gate and minus VID by 2 to the gate of Q2 respectively. Other than this circuit, we also analyze the effect of the resistances. Each transistors having its own output resistances, right? So those output resistances, we will fix it across the drain and source. You can see across the Q1 drain and source, we are having R01. Across Q2's drain and source, we are having R02. And the same is applicable for Q3 and Q4 also. Please be very careful while drawing the circuit. Here it is PMOS, so arrow to be inwards, and here it is NMOS, so arrow should be outwards. And also, obviously, Q3, Q4 will be mirroring circuit. Therefore, this is diode connected Q3, diode connected in the sense the gate and source will be short circuited. Only then this mirroring happens. Okay, mirroring will done. It will happen only if you short circuit the gate and source of Q3. So it has got its own significance. So if you're skipping, that means the entire circuitry will not work. Okay, so learn how to draw the labeled diagram very carefully. Practice it, then only you will be able to draw it and proceed. So in the tomorrow's class, we will discuss how to find the output current of the circuitry in terms of VID, and later we will finalize the equation for the overall transconductance. I hope till this it is clear for you. Okay, I want everyone to attend the class tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So we are winding up the portions. Okay, so whatever I'm teaching till Wednesday, that will be coming for your CI3. Already I have shared the question bank on the classroom. You can go through that. Notes, even notes also, module 4 and module 5 notes I've also shared. And the recorded videos in the YouTube channel also shared. You can make use of that. Okay, thank you, students. Thank you.